Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am playing with the Arty Love Typed Sentiments stamp set. I've got some craft cardstock. We're going to stamp this down with a little bit of Memento, the Desert Sand ink. I'm going to play with some colored pencils because I haven't done that for a while and I need to do more. So I'm putting a layer of white down for my paper because, you know, it's white. I'm not going to color the whole image. That's just the pens, the keypads and that sort of thing. So we've got 30% cool gray here just for a little bit of the, I don't know what it's called, the roller thingy. And I'm using a little bit of silver, and I go over it with the the white pen, just to help blend that in. So all the knobs there are all going to be the same. Now I'm going to cut down some of this because it's sort of the same. So I've got the black pen. We'll come back to that. The 20% cool grey just for a little bit of shading on the paper. The black is the 9.3, there it is right there, 935. I'm going to outline just that soft center bit and just do some very, very light work with that darker area. So this one we're going to separate the paper a little bit and just where it goes into the typewriter. So I'm using a very, very soft hand, going back over it with the cool grey and just going to keep working it in until I'm happy with that. So this is a mixture between the 30% cool grey and the 20% cool grey. Again, up at the top, very, very, very lightly, just to give that paper a little bit of an edge on the craft cardstock, and just again going over that with white just to make sure it's nice and as white as it can be, you know, and adding a few little shadows. Now the keys, I've gone over them with the silver on like the left hand side, doing a very, very similar thing here with the space bar. So we've got Espresso, we've got dark brown. Espresso is 1099. The dark brown is 946. And the Sandbar Brown is 1094. My little feet again are going to be the black. I'm going to ground my image with said black, just because, you know, it's a bit darker sort of thing. But I am using a really, really light hand. I'm not worrying about it, trying to put too much pressure in it whatsoever. This brown is going to be used all over the keypads. I'm mostly using the very, very darkest to outline things. I've got Copenhagen Blue, as you could see there, which is 906. And I'm going to do a little bit of a combination. I'm just sort of getting an idea of the bottom of my typewriter there. So I've used a little bit of, I can't remember whether it was up on the screen. So scroll back a little bit and play with it. I've used the white in the center, and I think it is like the dark, I'm pretty sure it's a dark brown. The Espresso, not the dark brown. I mean, like, it's a dark brown, but the Espresso, just for a little bit of depth to my blue, and then just going back and forth and trying not to put down too much of a heavy-handed pencil mark, because it's easy to add pencils rather than take it away. This is a silver, so I'm going around the outside of it. Multi-liner with just little dots. Now, this typewriter doesn't really have letters and numbers, so you around it. This is the Espresso, just going around the left hand side, left, right. Now we've got the left hand side, but honestly that's pretty much going to be the same around the whole thing. So you can sort of see with the espresso there, I've gone around with a heavier hand, with a little bit of a lighter hand. I've gone around on the left hand side again and taken that out a little bit more. But all three of those brown colors are going to be in the bottom of this typewriter. And we're just going to keep going and fill it out until I'm happy with the combination and the tones and the colors and everything else. See, it's pretty much going to be, this is the dark brown, so adding on to that color, adding on to the right hand side so it's a little bit lighter on the right hand side, and just taking that shadow out that little bit more. This is this stamp set has lots of little sentiments in it, and you will see some of those. So I'm going to use a happy birthday, but they all fit on the paper, so it's really nice, and it's just nice for a little masculine card. Adding a little bit of the white. Now when you first put it in, it sort of makes it look all weird, but magic all happens when you go back through with your sandbar brown and blend that out a little bit. And this is what a lot of people will use the white for, just for that blending. So we're just going to go just back and forth until we're happy and we've got a nice, relatively smooth blend. Now this is the black. I decided they needed to be out a little bit more. And also there's, like, under the buttons, there's an extra lip, so it's gone. I've actually done a little bit of a C on each one. A little bit of the extra blue. You can't really see a lot of the blue, but I'm trying to add it in a few times just for visual. The word's gone. Visual, pleasing to the eye. Let's just go with that. Like pleasing the eye, visual. There's a word for it, and it's escaped me at the moment, but that's what happens. Just going around the edges a little bit just to make sure my little typewriter stands out, because that's one thing that with the no line watercoloring, especially because it's on this craft cardstock, you want it to stand out a little bit more. Trimming him all down, and we're going to heat emboss our sentiment. Like there is, like, sending hugs is another of the sentiments. This calls for celebration, a thank you. You aren't normal. I like that. That's my type of sentiment. Do whatever. Be weird. It's okay. Cheering like crazy for you. So there's some nice little, and they all fit in the paper area, so it makes it really handy. One thing with using, I got a little gooby there. With using pencils, you don't have to worry too much about your hands, not as much. When things are wet, like inking and all that sort of stuff, it's really, really hard. But pencils are really that little bit easier. I just wanted to trim that down a tiny little bit more, so we have to round his edge. That's just using a corner chomper. I tried to put some espresso around the edge just to frame him a little bit. It didn't work quite so much, so we're going to use a pencil. This is the clear crystals. I was going to say sequins, but they're not sequins. Clear crystals, and we're going to add those with a little bit of multi-matte medium. We've got quite a few, because even though we're trying to do a little mail card, males can have bling too. I'm just saying, males can have a little bling. I do want to use a bit more of my pencils, so if you'd like to see that, leave a comment down below and let me know, because I do a lot of Copic coloring, but we've got pencils as well, and I need a bit of practice, so let me know if you want to see that as well down below. I said a little bit of multi-matte medium with our crystals, and that's pretty much our card for today. I will leave a link to all the suppliers down below, or a link over to my blog if you're watching this on my channel. And that's it for today. Take care. I hope to see you very, very soon. Bye-bye.